Hello and welcome to the Don't Wait podcast for women on the edge of transformation. I'm your host, Vera Knight, and if you're ready to stop performing, start trusting, and finally live from your truth, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the other estrangement, the one nobody talks about. And listen, when I came into this conversation a few years ago, everyone was talking about family estrangement like it was an epidemic. And I really didn't know the scope of it either at that time. But I could see myself getting pulled into this controversy in my own family. And then the deeper I went in, the more mothers and daughters I met that were not speaking, and sons walking away, and generations of silence trying to protect their fragile egos. And that's when this truth came to me. And it's something that nobody is saying. And maybe that's because we don't have language for it. Right? But trust me, that's about to change because the truth that nobody wants to say out loud is this. The real estrangement, it starts inside of us. Before you ever stop talking to them, you stopped listening to yourself. And that's self-estrangement. And it's the quiet killer of connection. And what happens is that as we are disconnecting from ourselves, we're still seeking approval. And then we become addicted to approval. And we learn early how to trade our truth for belonging. And I know I sure did. And I did all of the things, right? You know, like maybe we tone ourselves down, we play nice, we perform gratitude, and we swallow our own needs and call it love. And how did we confuse that to begin with, right? It's like somewhere along the way, we forgot that love without truth, survival, you know? And self-estrangement, it looks a lot like pretending that you're fine, even when your gut is screaming no. And it's keeping the peace while your body is keeping the score. And it's knowing what's right for you and choosing someone else's comfort instead. And of course, that's okay to do sometimes. But by the time the relationship finally breaks, because you can't keep playing that part anymore, it becomes easy then to point to them, to everything else. It's out there as the reason. But what if the real rupture started the moment you left yourself? So estrangement doesn't happen overnight. It actually brews in resentment under every forced smile, right? You start to feel off. You're exhausted. You're misunderstood. And you start to question every memory. You start to question your sanity. You question your own worth. But hear me, you're not crazy, and that's not drama. That's disconnection. And when you abandon yourself for long enough, your nervous system adapts, you know? It starts calling numbness peace and silence strength. And then one day you wake up and you realize, like, where is my voice? And that's the moment of reckoning. It's the point you realize the person you've been fighting hardest to be seen by is you. And here's another thing about estrangement. Whether it's parent and child, or siblings, or even a best friend, right? It feels like a death, but that person is still alive, and that's a different kind of a death. But if you zoom out, it's also a birth. Because every time you do that, every time you choose yourself, you choose truth, even when it crushes you, you're building a bridge home. And that home is to you first, and maybe then one day to them. But healing self-estrangement means learning how to stay with yourself through the hard stuff, right? This isn't about controlling or convincing anyone to understand you. I'm not performing to be liked. This is about refusing to abandon yourself to be accepted, right? And it's radical, okay? It's radical. And it's fucking messy. And it's the only way real reconciliation ever has a chance of sticking. And that's the body saying no more. No more pretending, no more proving, no more self-abandoning your truth for the illusion of connection. Oops, excuse me. Because when you heal the internal estrangement, guess what? You stop needing external permission to be whole. You stop needing external permission to be who you are. And you stop chasing closure from people who can't even meet you where you are now. And you start living from alignment, not from apology. And that's when the conversation actually shifts from why did they leave to where have I been? Where have I been? Where have I been? Because the real homecoming isn't about reconciliation with anyone else. It's about remembering yourself. That's the work. That's the legacy. That's the moment you choose yourself, and the healing begins. Don't wait. Start now. I'm Vera Knight, and this is the Don't Wait podcast. And if you heard something here that made you sit up and take notice, congratulations! That's the beginning of coming home to yourself, and that's what the work is all about. And if you've read my book or you're reading my book, Don't Wait Till Your Mother is Dead, it's not about her, it's about you. Join us for the next book club conversation on November 5th at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, and all the time zones in between. Again, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. And if you're ready to go deeper into the work and have some fun and be with like-minded, beautiful women all on the journey, Legacy in Motion is beginning January 26th. Peace out. Have a beautiful day.